What if free energy is not magic at all? What if it simply means learning how to use the energy that is already falling on your home every single day? The sun hits windows, rooftops, walls, sidewalks, and buildings whether we use it or not. So the real question is not whether energy is available. The real question is whether everyday people are allowed, equipped, and educated enough to capture it. That is why window solar units are such an important conversation. They represent a shift in power, not just electrical power, but personal power. The power to generate some of your own energy. The power to reduce dependence on centralized systems. The power to turn wasted sunlight into real savings. Now let's be accurate. This is not free energy in the fantasy sense. You still pay for the equipment. You still need safety standards, proper installation rules, and legal approval. But once the system is in place, the sunlight itself is free. That is the breakthrough. For years, solar has often felt like something only homeowners with large rooftops could access. But window-mounted or plug-in solar ideas open the door for apartment dwellers, renters, and everyday city residents. That changes the conversation. Because now energy generation is no longer only for the wealthy, the suburban, or the land-owning class. Now it begins moving closer to the average person. And that is how real change happens. Not all at once, step by step. First, awareness. People begin to realize that energy does not only have to be bought, some of it can be captured. Second, access. Smaller solar units make entry easier for people who cannot afford or install full rooftop systems. Third, legality. Cities and states have to modernize their codes so innovation can happen safely instead of being blocked by outdated systems. Fourth, adoption. As more people use these tools, costs can come down, confidence can rise, and technology can improve. Fifth, cultural shift. People stop seeing themselves as passive utility customers only and start seeing themselves as participants in energy creation. That is a major mindset evolution. Because the future of energy may not only be giant power plants and massive infrastructure, it may also be millions of smaller points of generation, homes, apartments, buildings, and communities all producing a portion of what they consume. That is resilience. That is decentralization. That is intelligence. And maybe that is the real footsteps toward free energy, not energy appearing from nowhere, not fantasy machines, but a world where more people can harvest what nature already provides. A world where sunlight becomes savings. A world where dependence becomes participation. A world where electricity becomes a little more local, a little more personal, and a little more free. The first step is not technology. The first step is permission to imagine a different model. The second step is policy. The third step is practical use. And the fourth step is scale. That is how a window solar unit becomes more than a gadget. It becomes a symbol that the future of energy may be smaller, smarter, cleaner, and closer to the people. Possible closing lines. Free energy begins the moment people learn to capture what was always there. The sun has been showing up every day. The next question is whether we will finally meet it with the right systems. Energy freedom does not begin with fantasy. It begins with access.